to bore T1 to the late game where you actually are relevant and scaled and very frustrating to play around. As it will be the Yuumi, it looks like here. I mean, there were 3 great options, right? The Renata pick that was most common and is very strong into dive, but guess what? Genji's not really running at you ever with this comp. So not as strong in this case. Good for the lane, but Yuumi gives you both attack and defense, gives you heals and extra sustain. The Karma can block with shields and obviously can run you around the map very quickly. It is very difficult to escape that if you're a poorly positioned Quirky player, but that's not Chovy, that's not Ruler on this Senna. I think the Yuumi is great because, yes, her healing is somewhat nerfed, but if she builds Moonstone here, which she almost definitely will, you're always going to be able to somewhat match that sustain from the Senna Qs that are coming through. And this has been a very common response to Senna when you're running the Ezreal. Of those 3 picks we commonly see in the bottom lane with Ezreal. So I like it a lot here. I think it's a very smart adaptation, and I know it's not everyone's favorite pick to see Keria on, but I think it does make the most sense.
It's definitely going to give them a strong lane once again. We'll see whether it's going to be enough to get them enough ahead of this Senna Tahm Kench, which does, scale into infinity and beyond. And speaking of scaling, that is exactly what Gen G have. I think the Viego is the only thing that's a little bit out of theme when it comes to the composition. I would have personally loved a Trundle, but you can't get everything that you want here. As T1, comfort across the board, right? And
absolutely.
Mid-game domination is what they're aiming for here, and I think that they definitely have a lot of avenues to get there. We'll see how it goes as we hop onto the Rift for the deciding game. All right, yeah, T1 fans, they heard the fact that Gen G were quite loud last time, and they're like, no, we can't have that. They were booming in Lore Park here.
It is such a exciting draft here, I think, because of the comfort for Keria, for Faker, owner on his Lee Sin. He's got 2 losses in his career on it. One of them was this season, 4-1 on the pick right now, and it's just T1 once again crafting a draft that makes a lot of sense, but also really extenuates the strengths of their players.
Yeah, it's a lot of comfort. And for game number 3 in our match of the week and honestly match of the round robin, does make a lot of sense as Keria floating around on this cat on a book, having a good time.
Did you get the word on Chronicler's thoughts and perhaps Valdez's
Yes, I did.
thoughts?
So Valdez and Chronicler both sent in their thoughts, and they do believe that Gen G's draft is a little bit superior. Valdez has given it a 55-45 in favor of Gen G, saying that T1, there is just a little bit too much of an onus on them to get control in the mid-game, and Gen G should just be able to comfortably outscale. But he says that if Gumushi manages to pop off, then it should just be T1 walking away with it. And Chronicler has said something pretty similar. 60-40 though, in favor of Gen G on his side. And yeah, it's a little bit more about that needing to get the mid-game snowballs rolling for T1 to find the victory. And I think I'm on the same page.
I think so too. Like, the mid-game here is so strong for T1, but they have to get to a place, obviously, where they have strengths enough to use those advantages well, obviously, because Gen G has a comp that scales, but it doesn't mean that it just has to default, like, sit around. It can be very oppressive, and they have a lot of engage options with Tahm Kench. They have the Gragas, right? And can be very snowbally with Viego in team fights. And Lissandra is not going to be able to just put on free pressure here in the lane, and Lee Sin is not going to really be relevant until level 6 this game, unless something crazy happens here on the bottom side, which seems unlikely. For me, I just don't think, like, a lot of people discuss the Senna versus Ezreal, whether it's Ezreal Karma or Ezreal Yuumi, etc. The Senna has handled this pressure all season very well. This is a nice trade.
Yeah.
So I'm not as worried about that as I am worried about how much Zeus can do in this matchup where Gnar has traditionally been a counter to the Gragas, at least this year, and actually even last year as well. And this Gnar is going to be so powerful at actually setting up for Faker and Gumushi to pop off. You could see obviously huge True Shot barrages if combos are well set. Faker's going to have a lot of power in these mid-game fights before Chovy starts to really get those items online. I think Zeus might just be the real hero in this game, once again, with his Gnar priority.
Yeah, potential linchpin here is Chovy taking a lot of damage from Faker here in the mid lane. The Lissandra power in the laning phase, working out very effectively as Peanut is looking for this. Body slam. Ooh, flash, not quite in range, but that stun will land, and the barrel's going to slow down Zeus. His flash is on cooldown, and that means he's dead. Peanut going to pick up that kill, and Gen G off to a great start.
Yep. Looks like there was some debate for just a second there whether it should have been Doran or Peanut who ends up picking up the kill. I think both is great, but I'd rather the Viego have it to further snowball some of the advantages that Gen G can play around to stave off pressure in this early game. As yeah, this lane is going well CS-wise. You can see a pretty significant lead here. About 5 to 10 is going to be the advantage here for Guma and Keria on the bottom side.
Yep.
But I like this gank timing. They not only get the flash, but also the kill there, and it was Zeus' best effort, to try to dodge that stun coming through from the Viego, but it's just too much damage. Conqueror procs, and now your Gnar power in this lane is somewhat neutered. He is obviously just going to be able to teleport back to lane and start putting on that same pressure, but it's not the same strength that he had moments before.
No, I'd agree. I would 100% agree. Definitely a good start for Gen G. Not the end of the world for T1, though, as we have a look at this gank one more time from Peanut's perspective.
Yeah, from Peanut's perspective, gets the speed up.
가자.
I'm going to go. Let's do it.
해야 돼.
Looking for waiting for the flash for the stun.
안 써도 맞을 듯? 잡은 거 같은데?
I think we got him.
잡았다.
Got him.
야, 개꿀. 좋았다,
Basically
현준아.
sick. Is the best way to describe what he said in Korean. There's no real translation, but he was like, that was pretty nice.
G-Sun's addition is like, it was easy. Easy. And looked like it. Definitely pretty elementary there. See whether Zeus can get some revenge, as Doran didn't even need to use flash in that moment.
Nope, and Gen G will get bottom side control here too, as well as this Drake. And the first few levels, Ezreal Yuumi can put some pressure on, but it really fades quite quickly as Faker's coming over here without 6.
Yeah, Valkyrie comes on through. Peanut is going to be able to secure the Drake as Owner is only level 4, so no kickback's going to be happening here as Chovy doesn't want to use his flash to get out of here, but he's going to have to. Snare is going to connect, and Owner is going to go the wrong direction, so Corki will survive, at least for now.
They get the Drake, but they expend 3 flashes for just Owner's 1. So, without 6, I thought this might be the wrong call here for Faker, and Owner tries to go in for the Heroic Steal, isn't successful, but is able to escape, and then Faker can use his Claw to come back in. That was a really nice turn there from T1, so arguably in the Summoners aspect of this, they do come out ahead. Gen G take a pretty significant lead with that kill they had earlier on the top side. Doran loses only a few minions up here top side when he returns back to lane. Yep, and at the end of the day, that solo Drake can be very important for the pacing of this game, because that means at worst case, Gen G has bought themselves 5 minutes.
No, precisely, and I think that's the main thing, right, that Gen G are going to be looking at. And I think that we got a glimpse of what T1's comp is going to be capable of, right? Like, if Owner had his kick at that stage, then that is team-wide situation.
Oh yeah, Fake
Gen G,
he has ult, 100% you win that so easily.
And that is what we're staring down the barrel of for this potential Herald fight that will be coming up. So Ruler is looking to flank Gumayusi here, was predicting the Arcane Shift, and Gumayusi's counter to that was not Arcane Shifting. I like that a lot.
Yeah, definitely as the Ezreal, you have the agency here to, if you're patient, just wait and then react instead of just blindly arcading, shifting, and panicking. So really nice job there from Guma to not do the panic move, and we'll just get out for free. So scary moment potentially there. Did, of course, have Flash available too, but probably would have died if he did get snared there with Yuumi so far away. Yep, well, I like how Lehens and Ruler are going to try to hold this wave here, deny can, and do what they can. Doran is very happy to just sit up here in this lane and play weak side. He got an assist earlier. Chovy.
Yeah, Owner's going to make his way in. There's the claw as Chovy doesn't have cleanse. Faker's going to find it, and yeah, this is a really dead Corki. Nothing he can do about this without flash or cleanse.
Owner doesn't even have to kick.
Yeah, that holds onto it.
The power post 6 against this Corki is massive. Will be the kill going over to Owner, which, like the Viego pick earlier, I think is the right call. Lissandra doesn't need that money to be relevant in this laning phase. She's already so significantly ahead in CS, and that will continue with Chovy losing quite a bit here. Doesn't have teleport. So this is absolutely the right call to try to snowball this Lee Sin. Ruler can deny it back.
Yeah, it does so, and that might actually give Gen G a bit of priority here on this Rift Herald that's already down relatively low. Sole possession of Vision
they have
going to be there, and yeah, T1 not actually going to be fighting for this one, I don't think, as Owner is going to spot out that it's happening, but isn't actually going to move over to the pit, and it's just Gumayusi taking as many plates as he can bottom lane in response. 2 of them already going over, so that means the Rift Herald value answered already.
Yeah, and it's possibly going to even be a 3rd one here because they True Shot Barrage this wave, so it's just so easy to clean up. They don't know where Peanut is pathing here. It could be rushing straight back down, and Lehens is on his way over, so they don't greed for it. But that teleport call from Lehens is what allows Gumayusi and Keria to actually heavily commit here, and as soon as they realize that the Tahm Kench is not going to be here, Senna is already showing mid, so you know the enemy duo is gone, you can just walk away from this as T1 and feel pretty happy. Now, how much Herald value is given could actually change this game and put it back into Gen G's control. As we watch this timing here, Chovy
Peanut was just backing as well.
He doesn't have Peanut here. I think this is communicated better from Chovy, maybe Peanut tries to turn this, but it's just so much damage. And again, Owner did not kick.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I think Peanut was gone before Owner showed, so it was just, you know, unfortunate timing for Gen G, but fantastic timing for T1 to guarantee that kill onto Chovy. Owner once again over here. Peanut in position as well, though.
He has both Summers this time, Chovy.
Yeah, Faker is just going to move on forward one more time. It is Peanut that's the target, but the Heartbreaker has been buffered, and that means that they're not going to be able to find it. Gumayusi going to get knocked up here as Lehen's going to flash after him. There's the Devour after the Tongue Lash, delivered into the snare, and it's all too easy here for the Gen G bottom lane.
Now, you have a lot of power here. You can push these minions in and look for plates. Look at Viego rotating down. Now, Owner is here with a cat. But this is basically a 3v2 we're looking at here. Faker trying to come over.
There's so many minions here as Owner's taking a lot of damage. Faker going to be blocked off here by Peanut.
Guaranteed charge, 100% here now for Gen G to drop down. True Shot Barrage is going to try its best to deflect, but will not be successful. Will help clear these minions, but the Rift Herald crashes through. Lots of extra gold here now to the bottom side.
Yeah, it's 2 plates to come through. I believe that at least Lehens and Peanut picked up those. Otherwise, it might have just been Peanut, but that's fine. Body Slam going to interrupt the crush here. As Zeus just going to walk on out. Doesn't have his ultimate. He's been using that on cooldown, as Nas generally do.
3 plates in total here, bottom side, as Lehens and Ruler really want to force a fight onto Owner early on to take his health bar away. But package is ready.
Yeah.
Doran has to take the long and slow path down here. Zeus, of course, also teleportless, but could just stay topside to get some plates pre-14. This is the tightrope that Gen G have to walk right now without massive control on the map. And they walk it well. Corki package is committed here, but you've got the choke controlled now, and there should be 2 Drakes to lead now for Gen G.
I keep hearing Lord of the Rings quotes in things that you're saying.
What did I say this time?
You have no power here.
Oh, okay.
I heard that one and I was like, Saruman? Is that you? I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my mind. It's the intensity of the series, I think. It's bringing out the Tolkien in me. As Chovy with the package. Going to try and get some damage down, but good wave clear here from Faker on his Lissandra. And Chovy's not going to be able to find that plate.
The package here looks wasted if you just think about what it did and it's in terms of the damage it got and how it didn't kill minions or anything. But actually, it was valuable because it was able to deter T1. So even though it didn't do the big boom boom,
that's a party cask.
Yeah,
that is in honor of his coach, as Score has had many a party cask in his time. He was also the best Gragas that we've ever had in the jungle. But still, sometimes you just want to have a party and celebrate. Indeed.
And if they had gotten a kill there or forced a flash on Zeus, would have been amazing. I don't think he would have died. It could have been a nice cask attempt there from Doran if it had. Well, it was a nice attempt. If it hits, it could be good. By the way, it's a celebration of the lead that Gen G have is what I'm getting at here. There's a reason to party because Gen G have taken a pretty significant lead with a Corki composition, with a Senna composition.
Yeah, I mean, they have a comp that sort of naturally will win late. So any sort of advantage that you manage to find at the beginning of the game is definitely a good one. As picking up the double Drakes as well. I mean, we mentioned how valuable the first one is. Well, the second one, as you may guess, is also pretty good.
Yeah.
Zeus gets himself another plate here on the top side. Chovy gonna Valkyrie.
So we talked about this yesterday, and I don't know, it just seems like it's almost like there is something deeper going on with the Drake algorithm here. Like, I don't know if these are really random. Is the Corki into no Drake Mountain Soul, where T1 could actually stack a 4 Mountain Drake Mountain Soul in the late game. Gives them actually a lot of late game power.
Ooh, I like that. As
So-
Faker's going to switch back to teleport.
Yeah, he's going to switch back to teleport, and this is going to be a lot of plates going down that Ezreal is not getting in the mid lane. But Doran has cast back up, does have flash.
Yeah. So Doran can throw that cask anywhere at any moment.
This is just a macro win for Gen G on both
Whoa.
sides.
Doran's just after Ona. He's not your lane opponent, Doran. You should be fighting the Nah. That's the
Full
gentleman's
turret.
agreement of League of Legends, okay?
That's first turret blood, and
Yeah.
Owner gets nothing here. Peanut comes over, and now they're under threat. And the whole time, yeah, there's a push here in mid. Chovy got all the wave. They don't actually, I believe, get an extra plate. There's the fadeaway right before as Unleashed teleports come online for everybody. And yeah, maybe you get this turret, which I think they should.
Oh, 100%. And outer turret in mid lane is more valuable than outer turrets in side lanes.
Yeah, but in terms of gold trades, that's not what you want to be doing as T1. They wanted to make that dive succeed topside. They wanted to try to kill Doran and get value in both mid and top. And they only get value mid. It's traded for value here for Ruler, who's got his Umbral Glaive now, a lot of extra vision control.
Ooh, Lehens. Oh, dear.
Want to walk into this one?
This is not where you want to be, my friend. He is going to ward first. Definitely the right call. Not going to get engaged on.
Does have his ultimate and flash coming back online.
Yeah, and Owner's going to steal away that Rift Scholar. That was beautifully done. He might pay for it, though, as Faker decides that he wants to take matters into his own hands. The kick is going to be there, potentially, but Peanut is going to be devoured. The Tom Kench is taken down. Heartbreaker to get over the wall. The flash comes out as Owner was soaring after him, and it's just not going to be enough. T1 answer with a beautiful skirmish in the river.
That control ward there in the brush is the MVP of this play. T1 playing around it so beautifully there and setting a trap for Gen G as they rotate in. And Owner gets so much value in this fight. He's now 2-0-1 this game, but also steals the Scuttle as he sets this one up. And that will be T1 getting picks right before this very critical second Herald to stop the snowball here of Gen G with a composition that already scales so beautifully.
Yeah, this is the time when T1 want to be getting these advantages as well as we check out how this play went.
I'm going to use Lehens to get in here, then Safeguard out after stealing that away. And then the Yuumi ult comes through with Faker. It's just so brilliantly played. I mean, it's just that simple here is Gen G didn't realize how many members were grouped up in this area, and the control ward allowed them to collapse in so easily. And Faker just keeps making these long-range engage plays. Lissandra used to be just a counter pick here in the LCK for the last few seasons. Now, just feels like on its own with the right composition, feels strong into anything.
Yeah, it's starting to go back to, what was it, like 2019, 2018? The era of Fly, where he would just win every single game if he managed to get Lissandra, and then teams banded against him, and then they didn't win anything after that.
Similar to his Aurelion Soul era, but
yeah.
Gen
Rammus era. We heard about his mid lane Rammus. I never actually saw it.
Yeah, it was rumored to be quite good.
The rumors were potentially exaggerated.
Now, Gen G cannot fight this without a package Chovy doesn't have. So unless there's a miracle steal here for Peanut, which he is going to look for, it's going to be tough. Doran wants to commit.
Yeah, Doran's diving into the pit here as Ona is just going to smite it before the cast comes down. But at least the cast hits a couple of people. That is back on the right track here. As T1 are going to usher this Rift Herald towards the turret. Peanut loves denying Rift Heralds. And he's going to be in position to do so yet again. Stun goes wide, and now T1, they're moving on in. Peanut's going to have to Heartbreaker away, and he is going to do so. Final chapter connects onto only the Tahm Kench as Peanut is able to survive, but Shirley will be able to get a charge, and that's the main thing. The team fighting force of T1 is now moving towards Doran. The Q's going to connect, and Ona finds another one. The kickback onto Peanut, right into the Devour, but will the Tahm Kench survive is the question. The answer is yes for now. But man, T1 are coming alive here in this mid-game.
Gen G are making some really unusual calls here. They decided to try to contest this Drake, knowing that if they get a smite steal, not only do they get soul point, but they buy additional time. They prevent T1 from starting this track of getting mountain after mountain, which just obliterates their composition. It nullifies it completely. And then they chase down here to try to collapse on this Rift Herald drop. Ezreal has teleport, so that's, you're not going to be able to match that. As Corki, you're running cleanse. So this whole fight, Chovy is not here, and Gen G are still trying to force it, knowing that Ezreal can come in and cannot be interrupted. So two two very greedy calls that end up getting punished here. At least they're able to stop this Rift Herald from getting an additional charge. But T1 just has so much control. They are being decisive, whereas Gen.G are very slow on the play. Could have maybe seen a turret traded topside. Speaking of, now that they had to all back, the timing here is great for Zeus, who will pick up an additional turret, and he's got his bodyguards, Faker and Keria.
Yeah.
Toby's just having to wait for waves.
Absolutely is. T1 really picking up the pace of this game. They've claimed themselves the gold lead as well. It's just shy of 2,000. As Gen.G, we have to remember, you know, scaling is still absolutely a thing that we can talk about. However, their time with control of the map is now over. We'll see what they can do to actually wrestle this back, because they're desperately waiting for 2 items to come through for Chovy. They're waiting for Ruler to get those stacks online.
Thorin is pushing bot and does have teleport, so can come over here defensively onto this very turret. It's going to make that call.
Yeah, it's going to teleport in. T1 are going to back away and respect it. I thought maybe they could rush it down and then deny the teleport as well, but then did not have quite enough damage in order to do so.
And it's going to cost Doran that turret on the bottom side, this pressure here from T1. Can they get out? I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, Claw on cooldown. Zeus here in the side lane. His owner, of course, is going to be able to steal away the blue buff. His Lee Sin smite's better than any other champion in the history of the game.
I mean, his Lee Sin just might be better than anyone's champions across the board. On every player in the LCK, he's just been so good at this pick across so many metas.
Peanut possibly caught out of position here. Does have his ulti available. He's going to use it. Faker didn't have to ult or anything like that. That was just a Circle of Frost.
And the one thing Gen.G had going for them before this was that Doran was getting bottom push there in the side lane and almost started to put the real pressure on that inner turret. Would have been some extra gold for Gen.G. But that push mid pulled him out, lost him his teleport, can't go over there in side lane. Now those minions are so far away, so he's really struggling to actually do anything cross map here. So T1 are pushing the edge all the way to this Baron spawn and the subsequent now Mountain Drake that's spawned here. Again, it feels like time has flown in these last 3.5 minutes since T1 got the last one. But they just took so much control over the map without a Baron. It almost looked like Baron levels of control with how deep they were into Gen.G's jungle. And they've basically just said, all right, we're just timing this out to the next fight, which you guys are still not ready for. Your items are not quite online. Notice the build here for Chovy. He's deviated for a little bit more wave clear. He's got the TM it here, but he's so far away from that Ludens. He so desperately needs to really spike hard.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have that one online yet. We often see that as the second option, but wants to make sure that he can get through these mini waves as quickly as possible and then come over and assist his team. And I can see the logic in it.
Yeah, I do too, and you know, this is a very Chovy move, right? He's like, well, I need to be like Flame Horizoning Faker this game so I can get those items online, because I'm not going to get them in team fights. I'm not getting gold in 5v5s. I'm getting it in the side lane.
Yeah. Well, he is doing it right now, moving towards this outer turret on the top side of the map.
And he's got a lot of vision to escort him here, knows all the line of wards here. Ruler put one over the wall there as Chovy knows just when he needs to get out.
Yeah, Faker.
He's 2 levels up on Faker. That's how much side lane he's doing. His whole job has been, give me the money.
Yeah.
Because I'm not functioning in team fights. We have no vision for that.
Okay. Maybe it's just like don't get Illudens and still do bajillions of damage. Maybe that's the strategy.
They could potentially collapse on and kill Faker here. They don't have the ability to deny his back.
You can see Gen.G don't care about Drakes, though. This second mountain will go down. So what you prophesized earlier on, Wolf, with the quad mountain soul is a potential reality here for T1. And that would mean that Chovy's going to need even more side lane farm.
And he's getting it. I think this is the right call for Gen.G. And we've almost gotten to a place in this game now with Gen.G picking up all this gold topside to where this game is dead even again, because of the scaling aspects of Gen.G's draft. Now, T1 2 ticks closer to Doomsday on the Doomsday clock, though, with those 2 Mountain Drakes that are left. Because if they get a 4 Mountain Drake, Mountain Soul, it is basically unwinnable here for Gen.G. Their composition will do nothing with Senna's very limited damage. Chovy's poke will just be dodged by shields and all of the extra resistances they can start to itemize with it. Maw Malmortius already done here for Owner. So T1 have a nice advantage tempo-wise. They have these Drakes, but Gen.G's scaling is starting to come online. I think T1 needs to guarantee this next fight. Now, I like this attempt.
Yeah, this Baron.
No vision. And choke point controlled.
How do we find some vision on this Baron, though, Gen.G, is the question, as they have yeah, wards all around it, but they don't actually have any. As finally, they will get note of what's going on here. Teleport to come in on the north side as Doran gonna belly bop his way forward. Gumayusi outside of the pit. It is going to be secured there by Ona, but can they find the team fate? Faker gets out with the claw. Peanut cannot find anything, and Gen.G are left with empty hands.
Oh, if one more LPL caster tells me that was a bad Baron flip call from T1, I'm gonna lose it because look, they had control ward vision on both sides of the
I'm calling Lyric up to this.
because they had both the river rush and the entry point there to the south covered by wards, and they had a Gnar with bar available. Gen.G have to take this extremely roundabout path to come in. They even don't know the timing of this, so Ruler has to ult to see where the Baron's at. That's their only real, angle to get vision. And by the time Gen.G come over, Doran has a nice teleport angle for the cast, but T1 have so much mobility with Claw, with Owner on Lee Sin. They just get out of there. Ezreal also just arcane shifts away. Very free escape here for T1. They have the damage to back this up. This is not really a risky call. In fact, it's just calculated. As Doran, look at him on the angle here, looks for the bop onto Gumayusi, knocks him forward, but the fight doesn't really need to happen here for T1. They just retreat away. In fact, Guma doesn't even have to arcane shift out of the pit. He just arcane shift south and he's away. Corki Rockets need time to do that damage long term, so T1 just get to escape. And now T1's control of the map is uncrackable.
Absolutely. Gumayusi going to move away from this inner turret, but it is still going to go down. The Baroned up minion's going to be enough there. The base not broken just yet, but Peanut taking so much damage here from the one-man poke unit that is Gumayusi. And Chovy, can't get through these Baron minions quite as effectively, as he does have a package, so he's relatively safe standing over here, but not against 4 members. And T1 will take that inner turret as well. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Doran does have that wave pushed out, and T1 not looking like they're confident enough to start sieging inhibitors just yet.
This is such a great game for T1, knowing their win conditions, knowing how much power this Baron is going to give them. It's going to delete, again, a lot of that time towards this next Drake, which they so desperately want to not only take, but actually win a subsequent fight for. T1 got the Baron and then got out. I think now they're going to need to win a decisive team fight with the gold the Baron gives them, the map control it gives them. Ow. I mean, these rockets are hitting hard. Chovy, he's not missing. It's just not a thing he really does on this pick.
No, he's doing pretty well.
And he's getting closer to Ludens finally. He's actually building the item now.
Yeah. Lost chapter is complete. Teleports come through from Faker. Let's see who he's going to be able to find with this one as Chovy is over here. There is a big boop into the wall as Faker is just going to claw his way out. He's like, well, I tried. And he's going to suffer a fair bit as far as health bar, but otherwise not too much to worry about as they just tidy up that wave, and Zoomies are going to be there to get Faker's health bar back again.
One of the big questions I have here is package available? I think it is going to be available for this Drake fight. It's going to be so important. Zeus has his ult.
Yeah, the claw massively respected here by Gen.G. And they really do want to try and protect this one. Remember, there is no Baron. This is just T1 straight up sieging.
Yeah, Chovy, the fact that he took cleanse means it's so awkward for him in these timings. If T1 could just buy like 30 more seconds of time with this 5-man push, Chovy can't just go grab package and teleport in. He has to actually make a call to go back for it, and that's going to be so much wave clear they lose in that moment.
Yeah.
So he's kind of stuck down here. This is so well played by T1. They're just trying to time him out. He's out of rockets, and he needs to go home and get that package for this fight.
True Shot Barrage, so much value here as well, as they at least do have a fair bit of wave clear. Of course, this is also AP Gragas, who does a fair bit of work to the minions when they're not Baroned up. So, now going to have a little bit of respite as they wait for a minion wave.
This is just so perfectly timed.
Oh, yeah, Peanut's just going to get completely altered to oblivion. He does get devoured, but that is a very long way away from this Drake that is just going to be secured here by Ona. So that is 3.
I hope Chovy's not holding a sad package right now, and I can tell by how he's moving on the minimap that he doesn't have it, because there is just no way. That hit onto him with the Mystic Shot was what caused him to go back, and that's the moment where T1, as the Drake spawns, fades away back to take it for free, resets and grabs items.
Yeah,
and
it's all right. It's not the Jury Duty package.
No.
Which is definitely not what you want to see in your letterbox.
Warmog
doesn't have it yet.
By the way, here for Lehens.
That is a tanky catfish.
It's a tanky catfish who is going to have so much regen. He's going to be able to, block a lot of these Mystic shots now, which is quite helpful. But we're one tick closer. We're at 11 o'clock, man. One more hour to Doomsday for Mountain Soul. before Mountain Drake, Mountain Soul for
Yeah.
T1.
We're going to need to see some Void Stubs. That's what we're going to need to see. Ruler as well is going to be doing 0 damage because he's got lethality at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's Night Harvester Gragas, but he's not really going to be doing a whole lot either. I mean, look at how much the 3 mountain stack already protects Owner in this moment. He's got a Malmo Meridius. He's like, yeah, hit me with the rockets. I don't care.
Yeah. He doesn't. You can understand exactly why, as Gumayusi does do a lot of damage. As, yeah, Owner tanks another rocket. That wasn't a big one. And, yeah, it was barely a one. So, T1 already, with just these 3 Drakes, feeling pretty good. But it's only 4,000 gold, and there is a heck of a lot of scaling still to be done here on Gen G's side.
This next Baron, again, T1 could take it the same way.
Yeah.
AS gets a Narbar, they control choke points, they have vision set up, and they can start it basically at any time once it is spawned, because they have wave control here in mid. They have all the prio that you could ever want.
Well,
Faker doesn't have smite, but I mean, that's the only thing missing.
But he can go back and get it
Yep.
at any stage. He's got Ghost available as well as his Flash. And Gen G finally find themselves some access to this river as Faker will just walk his way out of here.
This is really important vision now for Gen G to set up here. They can delay the return here of T1 to the Baron pit.
Yep. Peanut and Chovy in the pit right now, but you can see T1 fresh off the back, and they know exactly what's going on. They'll just get back to this mid lane,
Gen G
start rotating around.
do not have great turn with this comp, so
Ruler possibly in trouble as Owner, yeah, he was thinking about it. You saw him move towards him as that prowling projectile landed. But remember, there is still a Devourer available, as Owner's going to look for another Q. This time it's going to miss. Of course, an invisible target there as Chovy going to Valkyrie his way out. He's got a blue buff.
Zayas is losing his Narbar here, so they won't have the same choke point lockup. Ruler, you gotta be so careful,
he
man.
can't be frontlining.
You're not the tank. I know you can heal yourself, but that's enough damage for them to say, you know what, I think we have enough time here. Doran is not here, but he has teleport and ult.
Yeah, Dawning Shadow flies through, but the Zoomies keep Gumayusi completely happy.
Faker.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Faker looking for that flank angle, and he is so important for this one. As Doran just going to dive on forward. Gumayusi is just obliterated, and the fight may be over before it's even started as Zayas is trying to be a hero, but Peanut dives towards this Baron. He knows exactly what he wants of this situation. As Zayas, he does have the Meganar available. Belly Bop comes down. Faker's still got a fair bit of damage. They are going to respect the Meganar, who wallops the Doran, and Doran's going to be taken down. This is huge if T1 can actually win this, as Chovy going to try and cleanse himself. Owner is chasing after the Corki, and he will take him down. He goes golden as well, as this cat is keeping them all alive. Oh my god, T1, how did you do it? The Abyssal Dive is not even going to be enough as he tries to teleport out, but it does not work. That's the ace, and T1 are just going to look to end the game.
They will just push it down. Unbelievable turn after Doran deletes the 80 carry. It doesn't matter. In a 4v5 fight, T1 do not care. They play it better. They play around Zayas. The Gnar priority for this player on his best season ever is just well-deserved as this guy pops off and wins it for him. T1, clean team fighting until the end, and they will win this series tonight.
Yeah, Doran trying to do what he can, but there is a naked Nexus, and T1 will destroy it and get their revenge, and Gen G will suffer their first loss of the summer season, and Faker picks up his 500th win here in the LCK. He has the most by a gigantic margin.
Yeah, Def took that small time in the LPL, but